Hey everyone! Since October is Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, I wanted to add another video to spread awareness on this topic. And today I want to address the dads who are kind of forgotten in this situation and their grief is not acknowledged. So, what do I mean by that, Hector?
But not getting asked questions or about their feelings.
I know when I was in the hospital, or I think when we were getting discharged, I asked Hector if people, like our friends and family, were messaging him or who was talking to him, because my phone was really not ringing, or like people were really texting me, and I figured the important people that mattered already knew, and obviously weren't going to text me. But he did tell me that people were texting him and people were telling him, oh, how is she? How's she doing? You have to be strong for her. You have to be there for her, and just support her through everything. And so when he told me, I didn't really think anything of it. And it wasn't until a few days later when I kind of just realized, wow, that's kind of fucked up. Like, a lot of people were just asking him how I was doing, but there was a lack of, wait, how are you doing? You know what I mean? And I know their intent, it wasn't like people were meaning to be mean or not sympathetic to him, but I think it's just this lack of awareness and lack of education that people don't realize that the dad, just because he didn't do the physical aspect to it, that the dad is hurting just as much as the mom. Am I right?
Right.
From what I've learned through like counseling and like talking to other people, like the people that attach themselves the most to the baby are the parents, both the mom and the dad. And I can't sit here and say like I love Abel more than he loves Abel, or he loves Abel more than I love Abel. We love them both equally with all our hearts. Like, if there was anything that we could have done, like, for us to save him, we would have. Just like with Jojo, we both love Jojo more than anything in the world, and it's not a competition of who loves, you know, our children more. We both love them, just as
Equal.
yeah. So it's kind of unfair that the dad gets forgotten and the dad's not asked, do you need anything, or how are you doing, or do you want to talk? And I think a lot of it has to do with the assumption that just because the mom has to go through the physical pain of things and the mom carried the baby, that the mom's the only one that built a relationship. In our situation, that's totally wrong. I think Hector became attached to Abel even before Abel was an idea. We wanted a baby for a really long time, and the moment we found out we were pregnant, it was like we were both so happy and ecstatic. So I don't think it's fair to say that it's just the mom, the only one that becomes attached. I think the other issue is the stereotype of a man and what a man should and should not do according to society. We've come a long way in terms of progressing and not having stereotypes, but it's still a problem.
Still out there.
Do you want to emphasize on what I mean about that? About like the stereotypes in men? Like how men can't
Show emotion
yeah.
in public.
Or not even just
Cry
in public,
or just in general. Just like if you're in a group of friends, you start showing some emotion and then just start calling you like a little wuss or like a little baby. Unless you're with a group of friends or with a few friends that are really close to you, they're gonna understand. But if they're just like, you see them here and there, they're not gonna understand anything you're going through. So, and they're gonna think of you as a little wimp.
And I mean, maybe I'm just generalizing because we do come from a Latino background. We are Latinos, and culturally, culturally, right? It's not acceptable for men to like cry or show
Have to
emotions.
be machos.
Yeah. Like, it's very, like,
Machismo.
yeah, machismo, the man's strong. And I've touched up on this on some of my videos. Like, what is being strong? Like, you assume that me crying is being weak, and that's not being weak. That's actually you facing your grief face forward. You're not hiding it underneath, like, drinking, drugs, partying. Like, you're facing it face forward, and that makes you so much stronger. So I think that's another issue why, like, it's hard for some men to process their grief, because it's almost not acknowledged, and not I don't want to say accepted, but it's just like the society makes it where it's like a man, it can't process feelings or show feelings. And so, like, Hector was expected to be strong for me, and just almost in a sense pretend like everything was okay in the beginning. But I want him to process his feelings. I don't want him to just, like, pretend like Abel didn't exist. And I feel like when people give him that kind of advice, it's like saying, you're telling us Abel didn't exist. Like, get over it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? So, I guess my whole, like, my whole point to making this video was that, where are they gone? So I guess my whole point to making this video is that the men have to be acknowledged as well, just as the woman. The dad was attached to their baby. I mean, I could tell you Hector adores Abel, just like he adores Jojo. And it's not fair that his pain is not acknowledged as much as mine is, you know? And maybe it's because of this specific type of a loss that it is still very misunderstood. But yeah, I want to change that as a society. I think if there was more men out there too who have gone through this specific type of loss, who would put themselves out there, it would encourage other men too. I'm encouraging Hector to put himself out there, but we'll see. Maybe one day he'll come out with his own story and his own feelings. But yeah, with that being said, I also wanted to touch bases on, like, for example, Jojo. I think people forget that she lost a big thing too. She, of course, didn't attach to Abel in the same way that we did, because I think for a child it's very hard to attach to an abstract thing. I mean, she couldn't physically touch him or, see him. But she lost a big thing. She lost that idea that she was going to be a big sister, something that she wanted for a really long time. So it's just acknowledging that everybody's hurting. Everybody hurts different, and everybody shows their pain differently, but everybody's hurting. And nothing helps more than just saying, like, do you want to talk about it? Do you need anything? And if they don't want to talk about it, respect that, right? Respect that.
There'll be a point where he will want to talk about it.
I think my advice to the partners, like the women, the moms, I mean, Hector is a very private person. He does have a lot of friends, but he's very private in his emotions. And it's safe to say that I'm pretty much one of the only people you tell, like, your deepest emotions to you. And so for me, I had to constantly, like, remember, okay, I have to ask him how he's doing. Like, do you want to talk about anything? Like, how are you doing? So as the partner, like, remember to do that. Remember to acknowledge that they're also going through it, and that it's okay for them to talk about it. And if they don't want to talk about it, that you're there for them when they're ready to talk about it. Have I done a good job at doing that with you think?
Yep.
Anything you want to say, honey? Anything you want to say to the community who's been through this?
Who's been through this?
Yeah. Anybody who's lost a baby, miscarriage.
Just stay strong. You're going through this as a couple, and just hold on tight. It's a nasty ride. It's not fun. But you'll get through it. Just like we will. I know. It's
Thanks,
gonna be
honey.
tough, but
Yeah.
it will happen. Doesn't mean we're gonna forget our baby,
Mm-mm.
but we'll get through it.
Yeah. We are going to get through it together as a couple, and we're going to get through it together as a family. I think I've mentioned in other videos, if anything, I mean, something like this can break your marriage apart and can break your family apart, but you could choose for it not to, you know? And
Can make us stronger.
yeah, I think if anything, this has made us such like a better family and a better marriage. And yeah, we're going to continue to power through it. Even on those hard days, we're going to continue to power through it because we want to make Abel proud to call himself part of this family. So yeah. But it's time for us to go. I hope this video helps somebody out there. Like I said, the whole point is don't forget we're all hurting. Let's be there for each other. And you're not alone. There's a lot of people who have gone through this, and there's a lot of support out there, so don't forget that. We will be vlogging this weekend, so we will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Somebody's gonna look at us. They're gonna think we're weird. Okay. Hi, everyone. I can't do serious videos with you. Okay. I'm totally gonna put that in the bloopers at the end. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Look up. Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna hold it?
Yes, sure.
Yes, sure.
Hey,
What's up,
everyone.
Holmes? Just leave it like that.
Either you're gonna slump or you're gonna sit up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, everyone. As part of I cannot take you seriously. What are you doing? You can't hold it.
I know.
My phone.
That's fine.
I'm gonna hold it. What were you doing? For what?
No, move it that way.
No, I like it this way. Motherfucker broke my phone.